Runbow!
Rambo?
No, Runbow, like run and bow.
I think it's like Runbow, like for all the colors.
Ah, the colors, because it's a crazy color-based platformer for up to 9 players. There's a several modes. There's a run, arena, king of the hill, adventure mode, behemoth, and you can play it online as well. So there's a multiplayer.
And that's an important thing to say about this game because it feels like 2 different games in one. On one side you have the full single-player platformer experience. That's the adventure mode with 140 different single-player levels. And then you also have the multiplayer kind of party game, brawler, racing game that's just lots of crazy fun to play with friends and would be really fun at a party. Both of these overlap a little bit, but it does feel like 2 very different experiences. Now, in both of these experiences, one of the main features is how the background constantly changes colors, which affects which platforms you can jump on. So in the middle of the air, you might realize the platform you're going for has suddenly disappeared because the background now matches that color. That keeps things very frantic, fast-paced, and you have to think on your feet or in the air all the time.
So in some of these multiplayer modes, you're gonna have power-ups that really change the pace and you can battle each other. For example, one item will flip the gravity or another item might switch with the player in front of you. So the question is, should you play it?
But first, you should know that this game is free from the Epic Games Store the week starting September 29th, 2022. Claim it, keep it forever, and that's what we do on this channel. We review and play every free game from the Epic Games Store to make sure that you don't have to waste your time on bad games or be bored ever again. So, you know, there's some fun experiences in there. I think it's very important to think of this as 2 separate games. We could almost review it as 2 separate games. So, on the single-player platformer side, the idea with the colors changing and things is really interesting, but it also kind of frustrated me. And the main reason is because of some frame rate drops and that it lags sometimes. And a game that has to be that precise, if there's any delay at all, it can just make the entire experience feel unfair. So on that side, that's not my genre anyway. No, that's not for me. For the party, like brawler, this is really fun if you can play with several people at once. For me, though, I can see the fun of it, but after a few games, it just started to feel like too frantic and random, and you just, I think I need to be more skilled, but it just felt like kind of randomly bouncing around, hoping that I lasted longer than the others. And it's kind of crazy fun, but it's not something that I would be playing like over and over and over every time I have a group of friends over. So overall, not a bad game. Fans of platformers will like it, but for me, I'm gonna have to say no.
I think because this game has so many levels for single player and so many modes that you can play online and most importantly locally with up to 9 players. I think this is quite unique and it should be appreciated because locally 9 players, that's quite awesome, especially in this quite unique frenetic game. And I think it's like some games are like Super Smash Brothers are based on just one mode, but in this game you have several of them, and if you don't like some, it's okay, you can play the only ones that you like. So I think you should try this one. Yes, it's not perfect, but especially now when it's free, you should definitely try it, especially in local multiplayer. And it does have an online multiplayer. Not a lot of people are active on Steam, but now with Epic being free, you can find a lot of friends. If you don't have any friends, go down into the comments, write your nickname into the pinned post and find one.
And find the other people who put their Epic username there and add them as friends, and then you can play this game together.
So I hope this video was useful and hope to see you next time.